Well, hello. We have made it on the Cosmos Astrum episode 4. And with no glitches yet, except for one. It took forever to sync up online. I don't know if it's because we're now on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and many more to come. But welcome. Hold on. I got fancy buttons. Lua Valentia. So,
Hello! What a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
it's an honor. And you guys will understand why I say it's an honor. She's an amazing individual. We're going through that a little bit. Uh, Lua, Moon, if you don't mind. Um, my southern accent. We had this conversation off the camera, and I'm just afraid I'm really going to screw it up with my southern accent. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself because we got a lot to dig into here.
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Lua Valentia. I'm Brazilian. Nowadays, I live in Australia, and I'm a Chaos witch. So I love practicing Chaos magic. I created my own systems called the Specular system, and I work as a professional witch. And also, I launched some books about witchcraft, chaos magic, poetry. They're all in Portuguese, but hopefully, I will translate everything to English very, very soon.
Well, getting into the magics part of things. So that's it's always a hot topic, and so w- w- your personal view on magics. Is it you know like some people look at because you got hedge witchery, you've got all these different types. What's your personal point of view on magics? Is it something that you do as needed, or is it just an everyday life part of you?
It's everyday part of me. It's my professional. So I work with it and I also put it in my everyday life. But I also think magic is to make life an adventure. So I do magic to bring something special to my life, to bring some spice, to bring something new, because if I do magic just for the everyday routine, uh, just the normal life, it's not enough for me. I need something else. I need something, an adventure. I need I need a little bit of danger as well. So magic for me, every path is right because nothing is the ultimate truth. So if you say something, if you believe in it, if you have faith, then you are correct. Then you should just move on and be whatever you want to be. I believe that. I don't talk to be the most correct. I don't want to bring something true about what is this or that. I try just to create as much as possible and live life as it is an adventure.
Well, in Regina, we call an adventure going on Ring Road. It's a roundabout highway. But I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, magic is, in my personal view, is not something that we do; it's something that we are. And then the extras that we apply into the magics that is being done is like, I know it sounds very mundane by putting it this way, but by putting on that different pair of shoes to make you feel a certain way, or changing your environment, and not only for the adventure, but it's also to elevate your personal energies. To because once we change ourselves inwardly, we're affecting others outwardly, and that's what to me, that's my personal point of
Perfect.
view. And I like what you said. What there is no really wrong or right way of a path. We hear all too often, you know, this way is wrong, this way is right, this is dark, this is, stuff. But it's all part of life. But, um, and real quick, in the room we have Jared, which I'm surprised is awake. Hey, Raven, Jeff, NG. Lee and Joe. Joe is literally right across the street. It's scary. Anyway, so but with that being said, what's your thoughts on? Because this is kind of a personal pet peeve of mine. This is why I'm throwing it in there because so many people go for that, that magic pill. That it's going to fix everything. Everything in my life can be done by this practitioner, or all I got to do is chant this a couple times and everything's fixed. So I like this candle. My running joke right now is I offer right now. I have an offer on the table. Someone to light the protection candle that I sell downstairs and walk out in traffic. Let's see what happens. So just a thought. But uh, Jared says I just left the store. Rude. Um, but so what are your thoughts on people that don't they want like for example, you do a spell for somebody and at the end of the day it's them that's got to empower it, they carry it, you know am I correct? And um, you're providing the catalyst and they're the ones that got to fuel it. So what are your thoughts on these people that think that whatever a practitioner does, that's the be all?
Yes. I often say to my clients that I do 50%. The other 50% is their doing. They need to chase the job. They need to apply for jobs, for instance, if they want a job very quickly. They need to do their part, and they need to act accordingly to what they desire.
Mhm.
Because your job is to make the magic path the easiest it can be. And my job is just to put the magic there, like to give the impulse that it needs in order to be complete. So I say that to them, exactly that. I explain everything, and I explain that in my point of view, magic is probability. We're trying to increase the probability of something happen in a certain way until a certain point. So obviously, if you put more and more energy, if you do your part, if you act accordingly, if you just stay in your path, eyes in the prize, but obviously not being obsessed by it, and not being um, not increasing your anxiety levels, because that's another problem. When you are too anxious, oh, I need it, I need this, I need this, this could be a problem, because what you are manifesting is your desire and not what you really want. So I explained this to them. Actually, I love contracts.
Mhm.
So in the contract, when they are asking for a work, a spell or something, they have to sign that they understand that the magic can maybe won't happen if they don't do their part, if they don't do their bit. I can help, but until a certain point. It's the same, like, oh, please do a spell for me to lose weight. Yeah, okay, all right, I can do that. But if you don't, eat healthy, the probability is going to be that you might lose weight, but then you might gain again pretty quickly if you don't act accordingly. So,
Well, it's kind of like, the concept of buying someone a car and, you don't have to put the gas in it. That's their responsibility. But, but a lot of times, somebody asks me for that. I usually put the kit together and give them all the information and then have them, do the spell themselves, primarily because I would prefer if they adapted to themselves and empowered it more. But unfortunately, and it's actually in some cases it's fortunate, you have to kind of build the roadmap for them. And that's what it sounds like what you're doing is more or less building the roadmap so that they can carry this out. Because how many times have I call them carnies. These are people that take your money and rattle a few things together and say it's all done. You're going to live a perfect life from here on out, and you're going to get that guy that you always wanted. And I call them carnies because it just reminds me of going to those old cheesy carnivals, and you got the lady with the crystal ball in the back room with the big giant top on, and and rubbing her crystal ball. And no, Jared, don't go there. That's a bizarre picture analogy going on. But it's it's those type of people that actually give the practice a bad name. And I mean, there's a used car salesman. They're just trying to, they're throwing a wagon on some wheels and calling it a luxury car. But we're, you know,
Yes, we have lots of that in Chaos Magic. I try so hard to read the content, to write, to just talk about serious practice, because of course in Chaos Magic we laugh a lot, right? We love a good meme, we love a good laughter, but at the same time we also sometimes need to be serious and have an adult conversation about what is going on, what do we want. And what is going on right now is that there are some people who, because we live in a world for likes, right? For social media gain, there are some people putting videos in which they are evoking the 72 diamonds at once with the 47s at once and other entities, and they are saying everything is a servant. A diamond, a demon is a servant, an angel is a servant, a saint is a servant. Everything is Chaos Magic. And what I'm trying to add to the debate that is going on about this is I love Chaos Magic because I love diversity. I want the Catholics to have their saints if they want them. I want Goetia to be respected as a practice if they want to practice Goetia. I don't want to label everything as a label Chaos Magic, and I don't want to see everything as I see Chaos Magic, and I don't want to just limit my vocabulary and just say everything is a sigil or everything is a servant. This is poor. Chaos Magic is supposed to be rich. We're supposed to be welcoming every practice and not just trying to reduce them to what we think they are. So I try to be serious about this. I think if you are there dancing, saying that you were evoking the 72 diamonds of Goetia, doing nothing as written in Goetia, I think you're just there for the likes and you're just there for the show. And the show is important. I love a good show. But if it's about the laughter, at least make something really funny. You know what I mean?
well, agreed. I mean, and you bring up a really good point because when I first approached you about doing this, I said I will not put Chaos Witch on the label because it's human nature. We get wrapped up in labels, uh, and the biggest reason is because if I say it's like usually when people ask me, "What's your path?" I usually just reply with my own. Uh, I'm just too old to define one, but so the unfortunately, when you put a label of what your practice is onto a title or whatnot, then people immediately have assumptions and whatnot before they even get to know the person. And we had the same problem in music. I hated it when you would release a song and you have to pick a genre. And, or like if you had a CD release back then, CDs and cassettes and stuff like that. Anyway, shutting up. They wanted you to put the whole release under one genre, whereas every song may have been a different genre, and that used to drive me batty. But it's the same application in magics, and unfortunately, I mean, how many times do you hear it when you do meet other practitioners? one of the first words that comes out is, "What do you practice? Are you this? Are you that?" And they try to put you immediately in a box, and that's when I can't stand that. We are practitioners are practitioners. That's all we are. We're explorers. We're manifest. We manifest. We create. It's we're very unusual scientists, but we are, and we have our theories, and we explore them. We come up with our hypothesis. Sometimes we don't ever come up with an answer, but we keep exploring. And so, real quick, because I want to get into these books, I want to drop a quick. How do you do it? Do you know who Lalakan Owens is? Well, he is here in Canada, and he's a practitioner, and he makes beeswax candles and different things along those lines. And they are amazing because he's a practitioner making these products with intent. So it's not another, you know, ding a ling ling, it does this thing. Um, I really, really have high respect for him. He's come to our rescue a couple of times on incense that for personal use. And so, real quick, let's hear from Sean from Lilac and Owens.
Hi everyone, my name is Sean and I'm the owner of Lalo Gonzalwin. I make natural handcrafted intention-based products like beeswax spell candles, scented spell candles, loose incense, stick incense, liquid incense, anointing oils, and bath salts. So you can check out all of my products on my website at www.lailkensawen.com.
Oh, I love him. He's
Amazing.
great.
Amazing.
He's I met him at a Culticon in Ontario, and we had a lot of side conversations, but he's absolutely amazing individual. Just a pleasure to be around in general. But he's I just love his products. You can find them pretty much all over. They're in the UK, here in Canada, but he's out in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and he's done an amazing job with his products. But so we're gonna play a game here, man.
Woo!
No, it's I want to because I went through all the books that I can find. Holy crap! So just real quick, I'm going to add these in here. These are only just a few that are going to be scrolling through. But you write on several different platforms, not only just on Magics, but you have the romance novels. You have oh crap! Please elaborate. This is your time to shine. I mean, jeepers.
Okay, so I write everything I write has a little bit of magic in it. I love the concept of hyper sigils, which are art with magic. In Chaos Magic, we use a lot. Um, so every book has a little bit of magic, something magical going on. And so Vero is about Chaos Magic, the history of Chaos Magic, just the beginning and the introduction. It's very basic. It's for the Brazilian public because we don't have the whole everything translated to Portuguese. So I wanted to give them something so they could read because unfortunately in Brazilian only 5% of the people there can read English. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna create this book for them specifically.
Oh, that's
Via is about the specula. So it's about the whole system. So there are 50 specularies there, which are beings that I created to help the magicians, the witches, and everyone who wants to practice with them. So they're astral beings, and they live in an astral city called Liranvangarden, and they have their own language, which is called Anorielo. And the most famous is Ronda, she went viral in Brazil because she's about getting money, getting a job. So people, obviously, during these very hard times, they are activating Rhonda and working with her, and she has amazing results. And I'm really, really happy when somebody say, "Oh, I worked with Rhonda and she nailed it." So I'm so proud of that. But
Nice.
I work with them. So if a client asks for a certain ritual, I work with them to help me uh, to achieve that goal. And I also have Techno Mago, which is about techno magic. It's actually a romance. So, and other books as well. The Onero is about the dream gods. Oteluma is about Persephone, which is my goddess, which is my mother. So I worship her, and the Oneroi. So yeah, that. But I want to translate to English as well. At least the Via, because it's something new, and others. I need to see which one would be interesting to translate.
Nice. And I'm really glad because it just makes my heart happy when I hear other practitioners use this phrase. And it seems very simple. Work with. We often don't hear that. And it's another one of my pet peeves. But when we turn around and say, I work with this particular deity, I work with, that's when you know, that to me, that is more respect. And um, unfortunately, I've heard, well, a lot, where you don't hear that phrase. And it's, thank you for using that phrase. I just, but, so with all these books, um, yeah, I would love to see, because Portuguese is, I'm going to quote Jared. He hasn't put it in there yet. It will be coming, but um, I struggle with English, so
I
I'm
struggle
sure.
with English too.
um, so do you have any like a timeline on any of these being put to English?
Oh, well, I'm currently working on Via because it's something new.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I don't know if you're familiar with the with Tommy Kelly's work,
Oh
the
wait, yes.
47s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love his work, and I'm so proud of his work. So Via has a lot to do with that. It's a little bit different. There are some different concepts and a safety protocol and an astral city. But I always talk about Tommy Kelly because I think we should praise those who came before us and who inspired us and who made us who we are today. And Tommy Kelly is definitely one of those incredible, so talented mages that inspired me. So that's why I need to talk about him.
Well, and as you bring up a good point because I often on the show I bring up it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree, but if you take something away from it, like I said, disagree or agree, that's on you. But if a person walks away, whether they disagree or agree, they're taking something away, and it's something for them to think about. And eventually that blossoms into a bigger thought. And it's the same concept of, let's say, like me saying that someone influenced my life, but I didn't care for them at all. Well, okay, well, it's primarily because that you remove that out of the equation completely. Um, but they inspired me to think differently and to process things differently. So it's important that people are aware that you can have actually a mentor that you despise, and you believe it or not, it doesn't have to be somebody you worship. It can be somebody that, and I hate that word worship for myriad of reasons, uh, but in that aspect, you can see how another practitioner is operating and whatnot, and so, define. That's how I want to build on that. I want to become better at that, or I never want to be able to be doing that. I want to develop my own. I like the theory, but not like that. Because at the end of the day, it's up to the individual, and I think it's great. Uh, so aside from books, so we both have a musical background, and I'm going to pull this up real quick, and then we can get into the music. So please, you're going to have to help me with the pronunciation of the music, please.
Okay. The band is Chaos.
Thank you. I just want to make sure because it looks like it says, but I just, once again, we'll go to the whole English thing. Um, and that's actually, I'm going to bring this up. Raven brings up a really good point. You cannot learn unless you listen to others' perspective. That is so true. And that's the biggest reason we're doing this. It's imperative that we get exposed to everybody's perspective that we can. So I'm going to bring this up, and I apologize. I did do it a little bit longer than I wanted, but I really like this a lot. So that's why I did it. It's for greed reasons only. But anyway, so I'm going to pull this up, and this is this Anana? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Inanna.
Sorry. And is it going to play for me? Oh, well, it doesn't help that it's muted. Hold on. Wow.
The one with the greatest heart, your divine power enchants the highest serpent peaks. Your divine power reaches beyond the dying stars. Oh, great queen of queens, the greatest amongst the supreme. In your honor, once more I write. In your memory, I immortalize your accomplishments. In your memory, I immortalize your avatars. Oh, lady with the holy womb and the finest crown, by your left hand I have been 9 times enraged. By your darkest shadow,
Well, you can tell how many times I've listened to it. The whole thing. That's just a small snippet. So they can also be found on Bandcamp. And
Spotify.
oh yeah, Spotify. It's so if can you type into the comments the name so they get the spelling?
Oh, it's Chaotis. Chaotis. You go. Oh, I think I can't comment actually. I'm sorry.
Jared says, "Love it, giving me Isabella Rossellini vibes."
Thank you, Jared.
So it's I actually going through a lot of the songs. That was I was being greedy when I posted that because it was my favorite, and that one's a remix, is it not?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I need to praise the work of Erickson William. This project was with us working Erickson from Brazil, me here in Australia, and Nick Rader in the United States. So we are always working together, making a triangle in the world, and just putting some hyper sigils together. Unfortunately, we lost Nick. Nick passed away, and I missed him every single day. And Speckle, I don't know if you noticed, but at the end, Speckle says, "This is for Nick. He is the greatest Chaos mage I've ever known." So thank you so much, Nick, and also thank you, Erickson, for the amazing project. couldn't do anything in this project, this music project, without them. So
And unfortunately, and I don't know if it was due to COVID or whatnot, but removing, well, including with COVID, we've all lost a lot of people, and over these past 2 years, and it just seems like it's, everybody talks about change with COVID, but it's these individuals that have a huge impact of our day by day life, and yeah, I agree. We've lost a few that every day I'm thankful for at least being part of my life and I'm a part of theirs. So it's important we never forget, those. So, but with the music, are you working on? I mean, any other projects given that news?
well, this after Nick, Inanna was the first one after he passed away. It's actually based on Enheduanna's writing, which is she was a Sumerian high priestess. She actually invented language, the writing as we know today. Her writing inspired the Bible and the verses and poetry as we know today. And I absolutely adore Enheduanna's history and her writing. And she was always talking about Inanna and Ishtar. And she went through some wars within her time. She actually helped her father, King Sargon, to unify Sumeria. And I was like, oh, I'm going through a war as well. So I'm going to channel all of that power and channel Inanna power to do some magic. And that's the whole process of it. This one it's dark and it's heavy because it has that screaming and Enheduanna's challenging power, asking Inanna, please help me. There is someone, I need to I need these people very far away from everything. So please come here, help me. And that's how Enheduanna got everything that she wanted, expressing through literature what she wanted, writing it down. And I believe she actually did the first hyper sigil ever. And she's a huge inspiration. That's why I use her name often as well.
Well, it's actually funny. Well, coincidental. We know what we all feel about coincidence. But in the back corner of the building is a couple of canvas prints, and one is Nana, and the other one is of Marduk and Tiamat. The creation, story. So, yeah, the whole room is covered with them, but we have that. So people will ask questions, so we can go into the explanation of Sumerian and not through the Assyrians and that type of deal. Because I just did a lecture on angels and demons and bringing in how the Assyrians with the structures and that type of concept. But that was the one where we were talking earlier how there's a few times that I felt like pitchfork and torches should have been at the door, but no. So far, so good. So with the music, and to clarify for those that are watching, when she said about the triangle is a constant symbol for manifestation, for creation. So just want to throw that in there. So if you're not aware, so wow. That's a lot to take in. So we got music, we got books, and we're going to get to my favorite subject right now. I didn't have it on my list because I told her we're going to throw this in there. So there's a you and let's see, is that your husband on the page? Yeah, Chris.
Oh yes, Chris. Yes.
handsome devil. And then
He is,
s-
yes.
so uh, so and is that your brother?
Yes, Leo.
Ah, I just assumed because of the last name. Holy crap! Y'all just running a regular. Have y'all thought about putting on a calendar? I'm just saying. Anyway,
He is very handsome, yes.
so what we're talking about here is I love the vision of this. I firmly believe in it. As much as trying to use social media to get word out about magics and become more aware of each other and learning from each other versus taking an online course and now you're the latest master of whatever. Um, it's imperative that we learn from each other and have these discussions. But you and in your team here, I'm going to leave it as a team because you'll have to seriously work together to pull something off like this. Let me click on share screen here. I'm going to turn my procedural to refer. Hold on a second. Allison is so that the people are aware that it's hypersigil, and I apologize. I should have mentioned this earlier. Grant Morrison coined the term hypersigil to refer to the extended work of art with magical meaning and willpower. So, thank you, Allison, for bringing that up. It's so a lot of people are not aware. Is a lot of times when we have these conversations that people are not aware that what we're talking about, and especially when we use specific terms, and so I have to stop sometimes to remind myself. So, and also there's that thing where you may say something in reference, and I may say something in reference, and we're thinking we're talking about two different things, but we're actually saying the same thing. So
Oh, yes,
that's
gods, yes.
that happens all the time. So let me pull this up real quick. This is a work of art, I'm going to say, because you have this thing available on for app and you're gonna show and for website. See, I'm not much of an app guy, so yeah, I know. We're sharing. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, I got you. Will you go away? Okay. So this is Specular Online. Now, if you could, and ignore my 11 notifications on there, um, you can find this as on an app and then on the website. My favorite feature before you go on explaining the background of this, my favorite feature of this is that I can integrate when I'm doing lectures and things like that. If I'm signing up using my Google account, then I can integrate my calendar in with the site's calendar so everybody can see my schedule. So I love that feature. But anyway, please tell everybody about Specula, and I'm going to poke around while you do it.
Okay, so Specula actually was born in 2016 in Brazil. So we have a Brazilian version of Specula, and it's both a magical system and also a social media network. The reason why we created this is because we got a little bit tired of the tradition network. Sometimes we cannot be ourselves in the tradition network. We cannot put our actual magic name because they want you to put your social name. Sometimes we cannot just put a magical work because it gets deleted by the algorithms. And also
Mhm.
in the traditional networks, there are lots of ads and people from school or family that you don't want to know what you're practicing, what you're doing. So Specula is a safe place without any ads, at least not ads that have nothing to do with the occult. If you want to, put an ad there for free, saying that you are selling this or that, that's fine by us. But I mean the whole algorithm that is trying to sell you something. Speckle is not that. We work just as you to have the freedom to add your magic, you add your path, and every path is welcome. Every occult practice, anyway, however you want to call yourself, however you want to call your path, you can just go there and create your own group, add your own content, add your photos of your rituals if you wish so. And it's not built to, for you to build a social media profile for you to have likes. No, we're more focused on the content itself. It's more about the quality of the content than how many likes or how many people, right now in the Brazilian version, we have 6,000 members. And that's important not because of the number itself, but because of the community that is built around it. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about the quality of what people are putting there. Of course, we have a group for memes. If you are interested in putting memes and sharing, I know the importance of memes, but Specula hopefully is going to be about the quality and not about sharing in mass. And so I'm so happy just to have this amazing people surrounding me. We had a party, and hopefully we're going to do loads of other parties, online parties, so we can get to know each other and we can talk and discuss. And usually I ask people, what are you interested in? Because I want to know what calls your attention in the occult scene, what brings you love. So yeah, I'm so happy about this project. And guys, just enter by yourself and check it out because it's really worth it.
I agree. As you see when Jared's comment about the yes memes, so we I signed up and it created a Moody to Effect profile on there, and honestly, I may make me a separate profile if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
The more I dug into it, I was like, holy crap! I can just not to say there's anything wrong with the Moody to Effect banner, before people start lashing out at me, but sometimes you just want to be me, and that's actually how I met my wife. I didn't want to be Cyvamp, the performer. I just wanted to be me, and and it just the sharing of information, and I don't want to come across as because when you have an organization showing up, we're not really an organization, and we're far from it. The Meduto effect is an idea. That's all it is, and we're not really an organization. We have our business, we have everything else. I just want to get that clarified before I sink that ship real quick. You know, recently we got asked, "Are you a Kevin?" No, sorry. But when you sign up in social media platforms and you show up as a group, sometimes it can rub people the wrong way, and because they think you're there to recruit and all this other stuff, and that's the last thing that we want to do. Our goal is to educate and whatnot. So, unfortunately, I made a profile under the Meduto Effect banner, so I want to make one just for myself. Just saying.
No, you can make how many profiles you want. I understand that sometimes we want to write some stuff as a group. Sometimes you want to write some stuff as ourselves, and sometimes we want to be a totally different person. You talked about performing, and that's something very important in my magic as well, because I believe that sometimes we need to act, and that is not the same as faking. It's just that you now have your head on, you have your clothes on, and sometimes I believe in what the ones before us did. Aleister Crowley, for instance, he was very good as being himself and a hypersigil. Hypersigil is probably my favorite word, as you can tell. Anton LaVey as well. He really understood what psychodrama is and the importance
Mhm,
of acting in a ritual and putting up a persona. So sometimes we want to be that, sometimes we want to be raw and
mhm,
crude, and sometimes we want to be everything but. Sometimes we want to
mhm.
be everything in the same time at the same time. And it's okay, just be whatever you want. There is this
Well,
phrase that this fake deep thing that says be yourself. All right, but what if I'm multiple people? What if
mhm,
I'm a legion myself and I don't know? What does that mean, being yourself? I have so many phases. That's why I'm moon. I
mhm,
have so many people inside me, and sometimes being myself for you, it's not really being myself, because if I ignore another side of me, or ignore the one that wants to shine, or the one that wants to hide, who am I then if I
yeah.
ignore a part of me? So
Well, I completely lost my train of thought on that because I got really wrapped up because you have a very,
sorry.
very valid point. No, no problem at all. And when I was talking about how the Medusa effect is an idea, that type of thing, I like Raven's explanation. It's we're all different paths. We're all different ideas. We're different. We but we have a commonality belief, and because of that foundation, you are correct, Raven. We are family, and um, it's but and when you're talking about the oh yeah, I remember where I was going with that. Yes, no, I gotta hold on. Where's my favorite button here that Jared would be pulling this up right now? Anyway, so the uh, when practitioners are generally talking, we, whether we're using it as a singular or into a group, we use the word we, and it's not a slip up. It's actually a legitimate statement because if I am talking to somebody, and let's say for example, I'm going to talk about the latest experiments that I'm working on. I will often say, well, then we sat down in the chair and it's exactly, I had this discussion with a practitioner in the States recently because I kept saying we over and over and over. And she thought it was French, and there was a whole bunch of yeses, and it turned into a nightmare. And I had to go there. But it turns out that she understood completely because she says she uses that reference all the time. And to identify, it's kind of like the whole deity concept, uh, where we turn around phases and show the phases when we need to. Yeah, that's exactly what when we're saying. That's exactly what she was saying. And when we want to address a particular deity, and sometimes people get wrapped up into the names and not the aspect of that name, just like we are an individual. And they think, I call this name, nothing happened. Why? Well, because your personification of the energy that you're projecting does not apply to that aspect of that individual. And so it's, and it's no different than, okay, Matt, I might be Dirty Wizard Nails to Jared, I may be, whatever, all these different names, they're different aspects of me, and they get a different response. So uh, it's the same concept. In the same way, like when we're carrying on these conversations, we have to tap into that aspect of ourselves to get our point across. Me, I'm just silly all the time. But I'm just checking the comments right here. Yeah, there goes Jared. Yeah, I'm waiting for the LOL on that one. I actually asked him, just so that you're aware. I was asking several people, what should we come up with a name for this show, and that was one of the names. Let's call it Dirty Wizard Nails. He only did it to aggravate me. So anyway, because my nails grow really, really fast all the time, so I have to constantly keep them cut. But, oh, Trisha. So, do you have anything else that you want to share with us? Because I think we hit on the books and the music and got a few of my rants in. um, so, you got anything you want to close with? You can make fun of Jared, by the way.
I just want to say thank you so much for this space. It is very important that we can dialogue, that we can have a serious conversation and also laugh about stuff. It's important to create a space virtually and also in person. So I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy for you guys, and just keep on shining, keep on doing and growing, and that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm going to open it up on and you know what? Thank you. As someone who has followed you for a while and whatnot, and we put this together, you're like the first person I was like, yes. Because like you said, it's dialogue is super important. And like Ange said, so glad you could join us. We are, like the meme that I posted today on the Moody to Effect page. If you think you see a singular person that's walking their path, you are not. We are strong, and we are a large community. So, everybody's saying thank you. Applause. Has anybody got any questions for me? And there's a delay in this, so I just want to point that out. So we can literally, draw sigils and stuff like that. We're gonna make a sigil coloring book and see what happens.
That's a fabulous idea. I didn't think about that. Now, put some glitter.
Yeah, well, you gotta have glitter. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I got made fun of because I had glitter in my hair earlier today, but. And Raven, yes, you can do the comment. A couple of years ago, I had put way too much beard balm in, and I went out to the sun. It was glistening, and she goes, "Oh, it's glittering in the sun, twilight." And I'm like, "Crap." So,
wow, this is fabulous.
So, like you said, it's all about communication, whether it's through laughing, serious dialogue, but it's out of respect. And that's one of the main rules of the hall here. You can come in, walk any path, as long as you discuss it respectfully. And because we have a lot to learn from each other. And a person that says they have nothing to learn, I know it all, they need to go away because they're way too high up on their own pedestal. So, we're going to wrap it up. This has actually been really good. I thank you so much. It's been amazing. And
Thank you.
I will probably hit you up afterwards, probably on Messenger, because I wasn't smart enough to put a closing. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go all ghetto on my own self. So, all right, we're gonna do the closer, and thank you so much. Much love to you all. Be safe.